Linda got the quarterly report on a Friday. 12 pages, full color, professional logo at the top. She read it, felt good about it, called her sister to brag. My advisor is excellent, very conservative, very professional. Her sister asked, "What's your return?" Linda said, 31%, over 6 years. Her sister pulled up Google, typed 4 words. S&P 500 6-year return, 89%. Linda went quiet. Then she called me, voice shaking. "Peter, where did 58% of my life savings go?" It didn't disappear. It was taken, quietly, professionally, legally, with a handshake and a smile and a phrase called wealth preservation. My name is Peter. I spent 11 years inside wealth management before I understood what I was actually doing to clients. What I'm about to show you is the thing firms train advisors never to explain directly, not because it's illegal, because it's extraordinarily profitable and perfectly hidden inside documents you're never meant to actually read. Linda started with $120,000, inheritance from her mother. Her mother worked 40 years for that money, cleaned offices, took double shifts, wore through 3 pairs of shoes a year because she couldn't afford to replace them on schedule. Linda wanted to honor it, grow it, do it right. So she hired a professional, referral from her brother-in-law, firm with a nice office, guy in a good suit who knew her name before she sat down. He said, "Linda, at your stage, wealth preservation is the priority." She nodded. That sounded responsible, mature, safe. Here's what she didn't know. Wealth preservation is not a financial strategy. It is a sales phrase, specifically engineered to make low-return, high-fee management sound like wisdom. 6 years later, $120,000 became $157,200 under his management. The same $120,000 in a basic index fund, $226,800. The gap? $69,600. Her mother's 40 years of double shifts gone to a man in a good suit, and Linda had been calling her sister to brag about him. That's the part that made her hands shake, not the number, the bragging. This isn't just Linda's story. It's the story of tens of millions of people with actively managed accounts around the world. The system runs in 4 stages, and it is nearly invisible from the inside. Stage 1 is the trust entry. The advisor arrives through a warm referral, legitimate credentials, nice office, knows your name. Everything signals safety. Stage 2 is the fear frame. He finds out what you're afraid of: market crashes, running out of money, leaving nothing for your kids. He amplifies that fear just enough, then positions himself as the shield between you and disaster. Stage 3 is the fee architecture. Management fee, fund expense ratios, admin charges, hidden insurance commissions. Combined, it runs 2 to 3% of everything you own, every year, no matter what the market does. Stage 4 is the camouflage. Quarterly reports show your absolute return, never your relative return, never what you would have made doing nothing and buying an index fund. Linda's 31% looked real until it sat next to 89%. Most clients never looked next to it. The advisor knows this. Linda looked, 6 years in, because her sister asked one question. I'm not going to walk you through every line item on Linda's fee statement. I'm going to give you the one number that ends the argument. Over 30 years, the difference between a 2% annual management fee and a 0.05% index fund on a $120,000 starting portfolio is $398,000. Not $398 a year, $398,000 total, gone. Linda sat with that number on her kitchen floor on a Friday evening. Quarterly reports still open on the table. 12 pages, full color, professional logo at the top. Her mother wore through 3 pairs of shoes a year to produce that inheritance, and the fee structure Linda's advisor used would have consumed $398,000 of it before she ever saw it. Not through fraud, not through negligence, through a percentage so small it felt like nothing every single year, while it compounded into everything by the end. That is the number that will determine whether you do anything after this. Linda fired her advisor, moved everything to a self-directed account, bought 3 index funds, combined expense ratio 0.04%. 18 months later, her portfolio has outperformed 6 years of professional management. Not because she's a finance expert, because she stopped paying someone $3,200 a year to underperform a free alternative. Here's the exact 4-question audit she ran. 15 minutes, No financial background required. Question 1. What is my total annual fee? Not just the management fee, everything. AUM plus fund expense ratios plus administrative charges. One consolidated number. If they can't produce it clearly, that is your answer. Under 0.5% is acceptable. Above 1% is a problem. Above 2% is extraction. Question 2. What is my annualized return over the last 10 years? Get that number, then search S&P 500 10-year annualized return. Put them side by side. No context accepted, no explanation about risk-adjusted smoothing or volatility management, just the two numbers. If they underperformed by more than their fee, this relationship has cost you money. Question 3. Are you a fiduciary? Legal requirement to act in your interest, not theirs. If the answer is no, they are legally permitted to recommend products that benefit them at your expense. If they hesitate, same as no. Question 4. How are you compensated? Fee only means they charge you directly. Commission-based means they earn money when you buy products. AUM percentage means they earn more as your balance grows. If your advisor is commission-based, charges above 1% total, and underperforms the index, you don't have a financial advisor. You have a liability in a good suit who sends polite quarterly reports. Here's what Linda replaced him with. 3 funds. Nothing else. Total U.S. Market Index Fund, 70%. International Index Fund, 20%. Bond Index Fund, 10%. Combined expense ratio, 0.04 to 0.08%. Automatic monthly contributions, no meetings, no reports. No one explaining why your underperformance was actually sophisticated risk management. I know what some of you are thinking right now. What if I make a mistake without an advisor? What if the market crashes and there's no one to call? That fear is real. I had clients tell me that for 11 years, and I used it. I'm not proud of that. Here's the truth. Linda is not a finance expert. She didn't study markets. She didn't take courses. She opened a Fidelity account on a Tuesday afternoon and bought 3 funds using a list she found in 15 minutes. The complexity of managing your own index fund portfolio is equivalent to ordering something online. The industry needs you to believe otherwise, because your belief in their necessity is the product they're actually selling. Linda's mother wore through 3 pairs of shoes a year. She never complained. She just kept working. Linda made the call on Saturday morning. The financial advisor audit checklist is in the description. 4 questions, 15 minutes. And when you're done, come back here and drop your current advisor's total fee percentage in the comments. Not a team, not a debate, a number. Let's find out together what this is actually costing us.